Right now at 6, a Partyville teacher is under investigation accused of making a controversial statement in class.
A Mineral Point bowling alley hopes to expand its business by adding an adult entertainment section. What community members are saying.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. Parents are voicing their concerns to Partyville High School administration after a teacher apparently made a controversial statement in class.
Jamie Perez spoke with the superintendent, who confirms what happened and tells us what's next.
Over the past several weeks here at Partyville High School, a lot of parents have expressed their concerns over something they say a teacher said. Now, in an anonymous letter that we got, that comment was, and I quote, "If I were a cop and you were all black, I would shoot you." Now, we asked the superintendent what he is making all of this. Here's what he had to say.
When we found out this comment was made in relation to a book that was being read that deals with that, talks about that issue in certain parts of the country, we look and say, okay, it was just a horrible, like I said, a horrible analogy.
This is the book the teacher was reading from. The superintendent tells us while he isn't exactly sure what was going on in the classroom at the time, a student was apparently misbehaving, and the teacher tried to make an analogy of what acting out could result in the context of this book.
Personally, I believed it was an absolute horrible stereotype of law enforcement.
Several parents spoke to administrative staff, voicing their concerns over what was said.
Teacher was disciplined for the incident. The teacher was required to apologize to the classroom.
We didn't get to speak with that teacher about this, but Gus says
It was not a denial. I believe, her thing was that was taken out of context based on what was all going on in that entire class period.
But the question many parents still have is why this book was being read to the class to begin with, when it isn't part of the curriculum.
She understood, I guess, the concern that people had. But she explained to us that wasn't her intention.
The superintendent also told me that on Wednesday, a private investigator will come in to question all of the students, as well as ask that teacher why she was reading from that book when it wasn't even part of the curriculum. We will follow up to ask what they find from their investigation. In Partyville, I'm Jamie Perez for WISC News 3.
The school is allowing parents the chance to speak with the private investigator on Wednesday, the 28th. The teacher is still teaching at the school while the investigation continues. Dozens of schools in southeastern Wisconsin are closed today. Kenosha, Racine, and Walworth counties are dealing with blowing and drifting snow. This video shows what it was like today in Lake Geneva. That area saw several inches of snow yesterday. The storm caused blizzard warnings across the plains and the Midwest. Location was key when it came to this storm and the amount of snow that each resident received in those various municipalities. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has been tracking that storm for us. And here we kind of dodged things, Dana.
We really did. We just skated right over the top as that system slid right underneath. And there were parts of Rock and Greene County where just across the street, some neighbors saw quite a bit of snowfall last night, while others barely saw any. So overall, I want to take a look at our snow totals that we have in-house from the National Weather Service. Lake Geneva, as you just saw there, almost 10 inches of snow, what we've picked up. And then as you look a little over towards Beloit, about 3 inches. And of course, up here in Madison, absolutely nothing for us. I did see a few snowflakes swirling around outside today, but nothing accumulating on the ground. So we did have quite a snow system slide through last night, but it just didn't impact most of southern Wisconsin. Today, it's been mostly cloudy for us. And then as we head into this evening, plan on those clouds to slowly break on up, not looking at any sort of threat for snowfall for us as we head overnight. Wisconsin's fairly calm. That system is now moving towards the New England area. A lot of snowfall moving through Iowa right now. But for us, again, southern Wisconsin, we'll stay calm, just very cold overnight. Currently sitting at 22 in Madison, 27 in Janesville with a breeze from the northwest. About 7 miles per hour now, but when you factor in that breeze, of course, with the temps, that wind chill is what it feels like outside, a little closer to 13. And it's going to feel like we're in the single digits to start off tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, we get a little bit of a clearing pattern in the morning, a little more sun in the afternoon, but it's not going to help us warm up much. Temps will yet again be well below average in the low 20s. We'll take a closer look at the chilly week ahead in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. The Diocese of Madison says the funeral for Bishop Robert Morlino will be next week. Services are being held December 4th at St. Maria Goretti Catholic Church in Madison. Bishop Morlino passed away Saturday night. A spokesman for the diocese says it appears he suffered a heart attack while undergoing some medical tests. Bishop Morlino was installed as the 4th bishop of the diocese in August of 2003. He was known for his more conservative stances on issues like birth control and homosexuality. Skeletal remains were found last Friday in Monroe County. A person hunting in a wooded area discovered the remains near County Highway W. That's in the town of Clifton. The remains have not been identified. Cause of death has not yet been determined.
The owner of a bowling alley in the town of Mineral Point hopes to add adult entertainment to his business. So he's asking the town to rezone the building. Amanda Quintana is in the news center with what happens next. Amanda?
Yes, well, right now a zoning ordinance is preventing Midway Lanes from adding adult entertainment to their bowling alley, bar, and grill. The building would need to be changed to a B5, the zoning requirement that allows casinos and strip clubs. It sits on Midway Road, right off US 151 and across from a small neighborhood there. Terry Galvlinger lives down the street. She passes Midway Lanes every day to get into her neighborhood and says it's just not the right place for something like that.
My son lives right across from there, and I do not want my grandchildren exposed to this kind of stuff.
She said the bowling alley is usually not busy and is sometimes closed when it's listed as being open. The Midway Lanes owner declined to comment, telling me he's too busy to explain why he wants this change. The Planning Commission will meet on December 12th for a public hearing to discuss this. Then the town board will make their recommendation to the Iowa County Board. The town of Mineral Point chairman says if passed to his knowledge, this would be the first B5 zoning classification in that area.
We will continue to follow it. Thanks, Amanda.
The former Trump campaign advisor will serve a 14-day prison sentence here in Wisconsin. George Papadopoulos surrendered today about 60 miles north of Madison at a federal prison camp in Oxford in Adams County. He pleaded guilty last year to lying to federal agents about his interactions with Russian officials during the 2016 presidential campaign. The prison camp is minimum security. A UW-Madison professor tells us that CEOs, government officials, and others who have committed white-collar crimes have done time there, meaning it's not what you'd imagine a prison to be.
The campers, as they're referred to, actually eat in the facility. They stay in the facility. There's a rec facility in the actual facility and on the grounds. It is very similar to an elementary school with a dorm.
Papadopoulos tweeted today that he could not believe he was going to a federal prison camp and said he had never met a single Russian official in his life. His sentence also includes a year of supervised release and community service.
The Village of Ridgeway's police department is seeing some changes. The new officer in charge wants to do away with titles like police chief in favor of marshal. Chris Leuenberg talked with him today and how he hopes the change will strengthen the community.
Michael Gorham has a message for community members of the Village of Ridgeway.
There's a new marshal in town, so to speak.
In this small town, he's still a fresh face.
45 days on the job.
But he's got some big ideas.
We always refer to our citizens as citizens, but I'm going to call them customers, because really I want to look at this as a customer service base.
A week ago today, he posted on the police department's Facebook page announcing an experiment in rebranding in which his officer in charge title might be changed to village marshal.
Villages had village marshals, townships had town constables. Maybe by going back to that idea that we're embracing the values of a smaller community.
The Training and Standards Bureau of the DOJ says there are 3 Wisconsin communities with an official village marshal position, and Wisconsin state statutes give village marshals similar responsibilities to sheriffs, according to the Wisconsin Police Chiefs Association. Gorham says that his responsibilities wouldn't change and that isn't even the point.
The title and all that stuff is just semantics. What really I'm trying to do is communicate to the community is like, look, we're together at solving problems.
And the community appears to be responding well.
People I've talked to her and run into, they seem to like what he's been doing, and I don't know, it's different, but I think it's in a good way.
While the change would still need to go through the village board to be official, Gorham is hoping to make the community stronger.
With that comes a new philosophy of we're going to work together, and it's contextually appropriate for a smaller community.
For News 3, I'm Chris Leuenberg.
We reached out to the Wisconsin Professional Police Association about the story. They called the move unusual. Ridgeway community members can give Gorham input this Wednesday during Coffee with a Cop.
There are more farms filing for bankruptcy throughout the Midwest. More than 80 farms in Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, and Montana filed for bankruptcy in the 12 months ending in June. That's more than double the number for the same period in 2013 and 2014. The numbers come from an analysis done by the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis. Analysts fear the more farms will file for bankruptcy because of the retaliatory tariffs that have closed the Chinese market for soybeans and held back exports of milk and beef. Curbside sandbag collection is now over in Madison. Collection crews will cycle through the city to pick up sandbags put on the curb prior to yesterday's deadline. There will be another curbside collection in the springtime. Sandbags were handed out earlier this year during the summer's historic rainfall and flooding.
The Dane County Humane Society is doubling donations that are made tomorrow on Giving Tuesday. The organization was given a $30,000 matching gift. The goal is to raise $60,000 in total for the shelter. Giving Tuesday is held on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving to encourage people to give back to organizations that they support. A special lighting ceremony is planned next week for the state capitol Christmas tree. The tree was moved inside the rotunda today. It will feature ornaments made by elementary students from around the state, showcasing America's Dairyland as the theme. The tree was donated by a family from Plainfield. Well, today Amazon is expecting to sell nearly 1,000 items per minute.
But with Cyber Monday in full swing, police are issuing a special reminder about porch pirates. Their warning next at 6.
Welcome back. People are doing a lot of their holiday shopping online this year. This year's Cyber Monday is expected to be the biggest ever.
Bigger every year.
Yeah.
Police say shopping online comes with a lot of responsibility. Of course, our Madeline O'Neill has more on how to avoid a crime that is hard for police to track. Maddie?
Well, a lot of people have probably heard this term. Criminals who steal packages from your doorstep are called porch pirates. Madison police are warning that this is a time of year when stolen deliveries are more common. Officer Tyler Grigg made this video to remind us how to outsmart the thieves, whether they're wearing an eye patch or not.
Now more than ever, we're seeing an increase in the amount of packages that are stolen off of people's front porches. And we call these little gremlins porch pirates. So it's really important that people take some common sense steps when ordering online.
His tips include scheduling delivery on a day when you'll be home, sending packages to a physical store or your workplace if you're able to, and talking to your carrier about signing off on your delivery. Video recording doorbells can be helpful as well to identify the porch pirates, because while Madison police have arrested them in the past, the thieves can be difficult for police to track down, as you can imagine.
Yeah, tough. It's a big issue these days with all this online shopping.
Yes.
Maddie, thank you.
You're welcome.
Maddie.
The Green Bay Packers, they are struggling to win games away from home this season.
And spreading smiles and holiday cheer, how an area dental clinic is giving back this season. That's next at 6.
Plus, we're ending our November on a bit of a cold note. We'll take a look at your forecast right after the break.
A southern Wisconsin dental clinic is giving back to its community.
Dodgeville Dental hosted a free clinic today for anyone in need of dental care. The clinic helped dozens of people with free cleanings, exams, fillings, extractions, and even crowns. Around $15,000 worth of services were provided. This is the first year for this free dental clinic, and employees say they hope it will become an annual event.
Dana Fulton joining us as the continued chill fills the air of southern Wisconsin. But as we said, at least in Madison, we didn't have the snowfall.
We didn't have the snowfall here at all, and even areas south of Madison did not see snow. But if you travel just south enough, that's where the snow is, of course, and some areas got up to a foot. Moving forward now, though, we will not be talking about any snow for tonight or into tomorrow. Now, I was out earlier this afternoon, had a few snowflakes swirling around. May see that again tomorrow afternoon, but it's not going to be a huge threat, and certainly nothing is expected to stick. The cold air, though, is going to stick and stay around with us for the next several days. We have a little bit of sunshine, though, in the forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. That's where it changes from what we had today. Today, overcast, not the case as we get into the next few days. By the weekend, though, some days we're going to see some rainfall as temps will finally climb back up into the upper 30s, even into close to 40. But some snow showers possible as well as temps drop overnight. Our Doppler radar is fairly calm currently. Currently, again, no precipitation concerns for us overnight. That area of low pressure now moving east, just bringing snowfall throughout Ohio and Pennsylvania, showers stretching throughout the New England area, as they'll be dealing with quite a bit of weather overnight. For us, our high pressure is shifting southeast, sending us the northwest breeze, though. So that's cooler air moving in is going to keep our temperatures fairly cool for the next few days. So overnight, our overcast sky breaks up a little bit. We become partly cloudy by tomorrow morning. Temperatures are going to drop into the teens to start off our Tuesday. Very cold start to the day. By the afternoon, we get into the mid to low 20s throughout the area with a little bit of sunshine mixed on in there. A clearing sky heading into Wednesday drops us yet again back into the teens. And then by Wednesday afternoon, we'll be closer to the upper 20s for afternoon highs. So slight improvement there. For tomorrow evening, afternoon and evening, as our temperatures are expected to be in the low 20s, do keep in mind with the breeze factored in, again, coming from the northwest, our wind chill is going to be much lower than our actual temperatures. About a 10-degree drop for us is what you should expect for throughout the day tomorrow. So grab the jacket as you're heading out the door. We're in for a chilly day. In fact, as we extend out that 8 to 14-day block, much of the Midwest and West Coast is expected to stay below average after we get through this weekend and into the start of December already. It's exciting to say that. I like seeing the Christmas lights around. Downtown right now, it's still a little cloudy, but it's fairly calm. Temperatures today in the upper 20s for afternoon highs. Overnight lows will be in the teens tonight, about 15 in Madison. 23 is what we're looking at tomorrow in Madison with a partly sunny sky. Heading through the week, we'll finally climb a little closer to freezing back into the 30s by Thursday and Friday, but we do have that chance for some showers, even snowfall possible by the end of the week and towards the weekend.
Well, the Packers are on a streak here, but not the kind that anyone really wants to be on. We hear from Aaron Rodgers and company after yesterday's loss to the Vikings. That's next in sports. Okay, so I don't need to tell you what happened over the weekend, but here's something to think about. The last time the Packers won a game on the road was on December 10th of last year when Green Bay won in overtime at Cleveland. So if you count that, the Packers have lost their last 8 games away from Lambeau Field. Really tough pill to swallow, especially after last night's loss in Minnesota. Brian McClune from our affiliate in La Crosse has more from Minneapolis.
Through 15 minutes on Sunday night against the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers looked like a playoff caliber team, scoring 2 touchdowns on their first 3 drives to take a 14-7 lead early in the second quarter. Then the fun stopped. Minnesota scored 17 unanswered. Green Bay didn't score again until a field goal late in the 4th. Aaron Rodgers threw for a season-low 198 yards, and the Packers' playoff chances take another big hit, losing 24-17.
So offensively, we got to be a lot better. We all got to play better, myself included. And we start off the game nice. You know, we had a couple good drives. We're rolling there. And we hit our unfortunate typical low. Couldn't get it going again.
I mean, we thought we can get this victory, and we started hot, but unfortunately, just ran out of gas. And like I said, it's we're beat up. There's no doubt about it.
The execution just kind of lacks in the second half.
The Packers dropped to 4-6-1 this season, and with 5 games left on the schedule, they are left looking for answers.
Just can't put our hand on it. I don't know what it is. Okay, trying to figure it out. That's the tough part. What is it?
The Packers now head back to Lambeau Field, a place they haven't lost yet this season. They hope they can keep that streak alive next Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. Reporting from U.S. Bank Stadium, Brian McClune, News 3 Sports.
All right, an update now on Melvin Gordon. The Chargers say he has a sprained MCL in his right knee after he was taken to the ground by Steelers defensive tackle Robert Condici in yesterday's game. Gordon had an MRI earlier today. He'll be evaluated week to week now. The former Badger running back is in his 4th year in the NFL. He has 802 yards on the season and 13 touchdowns. The Badgers back at home now after the battle for Atlantis in the Bahamas, where it was much warmer. Greg Gard kindly pointed that out to us earlier today. Wisconsin up 3 spots in this week's Associated Press poll. They're now 22nd in the country. Now, Demetric Trice, he's been hitting buckets from behind the line in stride. 7 3-pointers against Oklahoma. He's at 57% on the season. But according to head coach Greg Gard, that's not the only area of his game that he's getting better in.
Well, the decision-making has been better, a little more consistent. So it's good to be in a position where he can impact the game, and he's had those where the ball doesn't go in, and he's still done some positive things to help us. So I don't want to have him be in a mindset where he's so dependent that he's emotionally attached to whether the ball goes in or not. There's a lot of ways you can impact the game, and he's getting better at that.
And the Badgers are back home tomorrow night at the Kohl Center against North Carolina State for the Big Ten ACC Challenge.
Welcome back from the Bahamas, guys.
Right. Weather's here right here for you.
You enjoyed yourself, but now you're stuck with what all the rest of us are stuck with.
It's not Bahama weather outside,
No, it is
unfortunately.
not.
It's a little cold for us. We are going to be in the teens overnight and the 20s for the next 2 days for afternoon highs. Good news, a little bit of sunshine, though. Partly sunny skies for Tuesday and Wednesday. Heading into Wednesday in the teens again. And then we do have the chance for some light snow on Thursday into Friday morning. And that chance is going to continue to pop up as we work into the weekend. Even as our temperatures do go up a little bit, we'll be starting off December with a little bit of snowfall.
All right, Dana, thank you very much, and thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10. Have a good night, everybody.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.